Okay, I made a mistake in the recording, so I'm going to summarize what I just said. Now it's recording. Let's begin with an in-breath and an out-breath, and an in-breath and an out-breath. It's happening anyway, but just give your attention to your breath for a few moments. Put aside your notebook, put aside your thinking, and just pay complete attention to the in-breath and out-breath for a bit. Just breathing. And if you relax your belly, you may notice that your belly goes out with the in-breath and in with the out-breath. So just pay attention to the sensation of breathing without doing anything, just paying attention. Breathing, the breath of life. Each in-breath, energy, aliveness. Each out-breath, a letting go, relaxing. Energy, aliveness, life, letting go, relaxation, emptiness. Yes, so welcome to this webinar called, or given the title, Facing Insecurity and the Unknown Zen Coaching Demonstrations. Now somebody is making an alarm there. So, facing insecurity and the unknown. We'll see how that topic can enter each coaching session, because it's always part of life. Insecurity and the unknown is integral to every moment. Whether we're aware of it or not is another question. Now, of course, with the global pandemic and financial chaos, it's quite certain that many of us feel it every day, insecurity and the unknown. So actually, this is not just a problem, it is also an opportunity. Because we get to meet something about life which is always here, but which we overlook. Insecurity and the unknown. Something our mind generally doesn't like. But actually, for the heart and being, it's a portal, it's a doorway into a bigger reality of presence. So for the being, insecurity and the unknown is a gift. For the mind, it's a problem. And it's like that with most things. What is a problem for the mind tends to be a gift for the heart and the being. If we enter, if we don't enter the experience, enter the feeling, if we stay in thinking, then it remains a problem. So this is what we will see. So as I have written to you in an email, and when you signed up, this will be a recorded and public meeting. So whatever you share, please be aware that it is public. And I'm thinking not so much what you say about yourself and your feelings, but what you say about other people, details about other people who are not involved in this meeting. That's something to be aware of. Anyway, it doesn't matter so much what other people are doing or not doing. What matters is our own inner experience. We tend to focus on the external people and situations, but as we will see, the solution is always in meeting our own experience, our feelings, our sensations. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce you to Hanne. Hanne is my co-host. Now let's see if I can find her. That's another question. Can you?
I can unmute myself. Hello, everybody.
Yes, that's good.
Yes, so I am here in the background, and you can connect to me in the chat if you have any problem. Then I can try to support you. And also, if you want some coaching and you like to say that, you can tell it to me and I will communicate it further.
Okay. So that's the way it works. Let's see, I am here. It works like this, that if you would like some dialogue with me, exchange, then you send a private message to Hanna. And just very shortly say what the topic is that you would like coaching about. And it needs to be a specific topic. So something like a problem. This is my problem. And I'd like to look at this challenge in my life, a specific challenge. And then if many people want support, then I will choose which ones will go. And I don't know how long each exchange will be. It can be 5 minutes. Sometimes the solution is to discover it wasn't a problem in the first place. That's a coaching that takes about 1 minute. Sometimes we just think something is a problem, and then it turns out it's a natural thing. There's no problem, really. In other cases, it's a longer process. We have a lot of resistance, we have a lot of confusion, and we need to sort through the different elements and find out what is the core. We're looking for like the core. And the core is often a feeling I haven't been ready to meet. So when I find that feeling which I haven't been ready to meet, and it may be so that I haven't been ready to meet it for 40 years, since I was 3 years old, that's when I decided I'm never gonna feel this feeling ever again. When we find feelings that we have been avoiding for a long time, and we find a way to embrace them, something opens. That's the magic. We call this the alchemy of the heart. And it's a very simple principle. Zen means meditation, means here and now, presence. Coaching simply means asking powerful questions and listening deeply. That's my simple definition of coaching. And I'm not trying to fix anybody. I'm just meeting people where they are. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's unknown what will happen. I'm not trying to guide people to a solution. I'm trying to support people to meet the moment as it is, and life will provide a solution. I don't provide solutions. Life provides solutions. So it's actually a beautiful process, and this is really an opportunity for you to receive some great support, because now you don't only have support from me, you have support from 75 other people. We create like a field. So it's like an amplified experience. Everybody who's in the meeting is part of the supporting field for the person in focus. So that makes it more powerful than a one-to-one session, even on video. And now, just to check if the chat is working, can you write one word on the chat? How are you feeling right now in this very moment? Just one word. Open, grateful, curious, stressed, calm, excited, pleased, curious. Many curious people. That's a good energy. Empty, happy, uncertainty, fresh, excited. Deep love, open, excited, curious, and open. That's a good starting point for life in every moment. Curious and stressed. Can you be curious about your stress? That's the question. That's the big question. If you don't define the stress as a problem, but simply as a feeling, and you get curious about it. Happy, interested, nice to host you at my home. Yes, I'm in everybody's home now. And you are in my home. I have 75 guests in my home. That's nice. Tired but open. So I see many faces I know from all over the world, actually. Cape Town I see, Ängsbacka I see, Stockholm I see England, I see Norway, I see Poland. Did I say Poland? I see Poland. Maybe, yes, we were something like 20 nationalities have signed up. So it's truly an international gathering. So I would like to first offer a support to somebody who has never received any Zen coaching support before. Somebody who's new to Zen coaching. Is there a brave soul out there with a challenge you'd like to look at? Please send a message to Hanna about that. And in the meantime, I will just ramble along a little bit. So for you who are new to Zen coaching, I would like to say that Zen coaching is based on empathic attunement, empathic connection. It means the listener is receiving the speaker, not so much with the mind, but more with the body and heart and soul. So it's like being a receptive space and tuning into the multidimensionality of a human being. We exist on so many dimensions at the same time. We have a mind, think, thoughts, we have emotions, we have sensations, we have energies, impulses, and we have qualities and aspects of being. And all these things are here in the field. So empathic attunement is to receive all of it without thinking. It's a sensing. And based on that, some question will arise. Some question may arise in me intuitively. So I don't follow like step 1, step 2, step 3, we're doing this, we're doing a method. It's just a human to human meeting in the heart. So you can relax actually and be yourself, because that's the whole point of life, to relax and be ourselves and let life move us, move through us, become life, become the life, not be outside life looking at it, but become the life. I am life. You are life. You are not separate, having life as a possession. You are life itself. We are life itself in movement. That's the mystery. Now, today, it doesn't look like any person is brave enough to step forward with anything, or maybe nobody has any problems today. It's like 75 people in bliss. Maybe that's the situation. So please tell Hanna whether you are new to Zen coaching or not. So she, and you know, if you've done the training, I wouldn't. If you're new, it's good to know. If you've done the training, it's good for Hanna to know. She doesn't know everybody who's done the training. So I do have a couple of requests of people who are in the Zen coaching training. I can support you, of course, but I'd like to begin with somebody else. But if nobody else is ready, then we can do that. And I prefer challenges that are specific about something in the external life for the moment. Not like too spiritual kind of questions, but more like, this is my specific challenge in the earthly life, you know. Because it's easier to get to the heart of the matter when it's a specific problem. Like, I want more love in life. It's a bit too open. I'd like a little bit more specific kind of questions. I'll enjoy my tea in the meantime. And you can use the gallery view if you want to see everybody. Then you just click on the upper right-hand corner. You can choose between gallery view and speaker view. And you can click on the right and left side of the screen, and then you can see the different people here today. So if you ask for a session, then you actually step up and face insecurity and the unknown, so you can practice. This is an opportunity not just to think about it, but to practice it. Okay, so Keith is new here. So let's have a chat, Keith.
The video on. Morning.
Good morning.
Or morning for me. How are you?
I'm good. So you are with Karina.
That's correct, yeah.
Hello. Where are you sitting?
In Cape Town, in Muizenberg.
Oh, okay, cool. So, struggling a bit with being of service to the outside world during this time, you said.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I was just, it's been disturbing me. In Cape Town here, we were on lockdown like a lot of places in the world. I think that the disturbance has been around for a little while, and it's been highlighted right now, you know, like a lot of people in lockdown, the conversations around me about how to, you know, deal with this personally, and it's similar for me, you know, how to be in myself, how to be with myself in this time, and you know, I'm having a pleasant time. You know, life is, you know, I can indulge in drawing and my own activities and so on. And then every now and again, I get shocked out of this reality, realizing that around me, there's all this pain and this threat, and there are people in situations not as comfortable as mine. And the question always arises: what am I doing about that? What can I do about it? You know?
What are you?
And I suppose that.
What are you doing about it? So there's a bit of noise coming from cups and stuff.
Right.
So maybe it's. good if...
I mean, I'm certainly in terms of service as a term. I'm doing what I can to be of service to my immediate community. So to my wife, to people around me. We stay in a very small community, so I'm trying to be helpful there where I can. I just feel such a divide from the world. I think that is what's happening in my normal life. It is something that I work at including, being mindful of how others are and how I can be of service in some way. I think there's always a gnawing for me about how I can extend that a little bit more, but it's been highlighted at this moment.
Okay. There's a bit of noise in the background. Could you ask your friend to sit silently, or is there other people in the house there, or?
For me?
Yeah, is it coming from some other place? It's coming maybe from some other place. Okay.
Okay, we'll make an effort. Let's see if it changes.
Okay. Okay, I think it was coming from some other place. Okay. Yeah, so there's two things I hear you say. You said there's a sense of separation from society in general. You're struggling with kind of connecting in with society, you said, something like that. And the other thing is a longing to be of service to people, to benefit. So somehow, did I hear you right about those two things?
Yeah, as you say it, I realized that part of what the struggle is that when I see suffering around me, I can sometimes turn towards myself. That is a way of disconnecting from that. I see some pain around me, and there's a part of me that wants to help. Maybe I feel it's not enough, and so I turn in. So at this time now, my time is occupied by what I'm doing for myself. Keeping myself occupied, my own pleasure, my own leisure, and it doesn't quite quell that. So maybe it's a sense of loss of that community. I'm going away from it. Does it make sense?
Are you going away from it now because of the Corona situation, or in general? So are we talking about it?
I think in general that is a tendency for me, and I think it is highlighted now.
Okay, so let's look at the general problem more than what's highlighted. So this is what I see now in my life and around me, that this situation with more isolation, more having to stay home, means we start to have to look at ourselves in the mirror. So that's the good opportunity. I see you have a mirror behind you. So we're forced to see ourselves. When I say look in the mirror, I mean we start to notice patterns that otherwise go unnoticed. As you said, it highlights. Something gets highlighted. So that's an opportunity we have in this moment. So for you, it's a sense of when you see suffering, there's an impulse to do something to alleviate suffering. But then there's a questioning of what you can do, or whether it's enough, or whether it's doable. And then you withdraw to yourself. So you withdraw from the suffering, and in that withdrawal, you start to feel disconnected from the surroundings. Am I understanding you rightly?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's an interesting observation, isn't it? It means when we protect ourselves against suffering by blocking it out, we get blocked out. So we lose. It's like suffering can be overwhelming. There's so much of it in the world. And we want to protect ourselves against suffering. This is a natural human instinct. It's part of our survival mechanism. Everybody, number one priority for everybody, every living thing actually, is survival. Every fly, every worm, every bird, every human being, we're all trying to survive. So this is automatic, and there's something beautiful about it, nothing bad about it. But from a spiritual or heart perspective, if we want to be connected, we actually have to take in everything. We have to include everything. The more we include, the more we expand and the more we connect. So actually, the better protection is to embrace and include. Now, that's a kind of a meditation practice. Because even if I've been spending so much time in Cape Town, I've been coming there for 22 years, almost every year. And in Cape Town, you have something like 3 million people living in townships, and there's a lot of unemployment and crime and trouble, many places, and people on the street looking for support in various ways. So in a place like that, it's in our face so strongly. If we have money and a house and a car and everything, it's really in your face all the time, every day. The moment you move out of the house, it's there. So what to do? Well, my approach is to include, embrace. Because actually we can't end the suffering on the planet. But we can end the suffering in ourselves. And when we end the suffering in ourselves, we become a possibility of support. So, for instance, I walk down the street, I see a beggar maybe. I breathe in this person. I take him in or take her in. I feel the impact in my body. I feel connected to this person. I feel this person could have been me. And then I act spontaneously, because you can't support every person. If there's 1 million people, you can't support every person. So if you can walk in peace and you can act when your heart tells you to act, to do something, to talk with somebody, to give something, and then make your life's work some kind of contribution. Whatever is your life's work, because we all have like a talent and a skill. And if we let that be our gift, whatever it is, you work in a coffee shop, so you let that be the gift. You smile to people, you make good coffee. So what is your gift through your work?
I'm an artist.
What kind of art is it?
Well, I've spent most of my life making physical art in the form of furniture and wooden products, and I've made some change recently just to revisit painting and some sculpture.
Okay, so sculpture, furniture, and painting. So feel the joy you have in doing that. How does that nourish you to be engaged in those things?
Yeah, it's a form of wealth.
It's a wealth. How does it feel in your body when you think about it?
It's above the chest line, and it's a good warm yellow feeling.
Right, a good warm yellow feeling above the chest line. So feel that. Now imagine you're walking down the street in Musenberg with that feeling. And you meet somebody on the street who's maybe in trouble, maybe an alcoholic, street dweller, wants to talk with you. And you're there in that feeling, warm feeling in the joyful feeling in the heart. How is it to meet this person?
If that feeling is present, then it is easier.
So imagine it's happening now. You have this feeling. Imagine you're meeting this person right now with this feeling. He wants to talk to you. He's a little bit drunk, a little bit talkative. And what do you spontaneously feel and how do you engage with him?
Ordinarily, or with that feeling present?
With this feeling now, if it's happening now. Imagine it's happening now.
If I feel that and I stay with the feeling, it seems I'm more open.
Imagine I'm that person. I'm this person. And you're peaceful and joyful in your chest.
Yeah, I guess I am a little more accepting and tolerant.
Yeah, so you're accepting and tolerant. Yeah. So feel that. You're accepting and tolerant. And look at me. Look at me and take me in. Take my life in. I'm a living being in a bit of a troublesome life situation. I'm just like you. I'm just living on the street and drinking every day. Take me in. Take me into your heart. Just embrace me. Include me. Oh, yeah. Feel me. How is that?
That's okay.
It's okay. Describe that okayness.
For me, if I have that feeling present.
Yeah, imagine it's happening now again. Let's stay. It's right now. It's right now this is happening. You're on the street. I'm this drunkard wanting to talk. You're where you are now.
I could include them. I could include them. My container would be large enough.
And how does it feel right now? Sense your body.
It feels warm.
Feels warm. Now imagine you're telling me something from your heart silently without speaking. Like if you said something secretly to me now, I'm this drunkard, and you want to just, your heart wants to say something to me secretly, not with your mouth, just like if your soul could speak to my, what would your heart just say spontaneously?
It would say, I am you.
Okay, feel that. I'm you. So your heart looks at me and it says, I am you. How does it feel?
For some reason, there's a sense of shame about that.
Interesting. Why is there shame about that?
If I stick with that warm, wealthy feeling, it is easier for me to include you, to see me and you. There's enough space for that. Possibly why I don't always have that feeling is that there's a fear that you will take something from me that will deplete me. That's right. The one On the other thing where the shame lies is if you are me, and I see your madness or your neediness, then I realize that to some degree I'm turning from that on a daily basis. I'm turning from parts of myself. So there's some loss and some shame around that.
So focus on the loss for a moment. Like there's some loss if you turn away from that. So take it as a reminder not to turn away from that. Because shame is something to watch out for. Shame is the inner critic telling you you're bad and wrong. So I wouldn't take that voice seriously because it's not helpful. But loss and sadness are helpful feelings. Do you follow? Does it make sense? Yeah.
The shame is old dialogue, and the loss of sadness is directional.
Yeah, exactly. So if you allow that feeling, this is a reminder not to turn away from that energy of neediness. Can you be needy sometimes?
Sure.
So I'm the drunkard. You see my neediness, and you feel you are me. Just like you, I'm also needy sometimes. So imagine you're sensing that now. We're so alike, you and me. Needy people. We're not very different. How's that?
Yeah, I have a softer feeling.
Say it again? Softer feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, we're all in this together and we're all the same. We're just given a different destiny, you know? You know, where we're born, what family we're born to, what time we're born in. This is part of our destiny. Everybody has their own destiny. And we are in it together. We can help each other, but we can't change the destiny of people. How is that to hear?
Yeah, that's helpful. I think it tends. I think some of the fears that if I turn towards, I'll be asked to give something I don't have. And sometimes for me, that's over responsibility. So when you say it's not my job to change somebody's destiny, that's helpful.
That's helpful, yeah. So notice how that feels, that insight. How does it feel now?
Yeah, it feels lighter.
You feel lighter, yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm curious, when you think of your furniture, your sculptures, your paintings, how do you feel that's benefiting the world? What is given into the world through that? What qualities is the world receiving through that work?
I think the result is quite internal. It's about my joy, my equanimity.
Yes. So that was that.
So it's the place from which I can give those things.
Yeah,
Without
that's what I asked about last time. It gives you a joy in the heart, and you feel it helps you connect with yourself and be in a good place, right?
Yes.
So that's the one side of our work. And the other side is it's actually a gift to somebody else. Every piece of work is generally a gift to somebody.
Sure.
So I'm curious, how do you think the world, you benefit for sure, But how does the world benefit? What qualities are brought into the world through those objects?
So they're in the world for a start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, often the things I make are very beautiful.
Okay, so what's the contribution then, if they're beautiful? That's a pretty obvious.
Yeah, look, I've seen people express incredible joy over.
Right.
Or seeing the reason I'm
Hesitating.
being.
You're
Yeah,
hesitating.
it's because most of the receivers are paying clients, or
see what I notice here, Keith, is that your mind, there's what the superego, the controlling mind, doesn't let you celebrate the qualities that the world is gifted with. Like what you say is, the world is gifted with beauty and joy through those objects. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
So feel that. You have to honor the gift of your work. That's being in truth. Let yourself feel that. That's maybe a vulnerable place to go. The world is gifted with joy and beauty through your work. Feel that. What happens now?
I feel very shy and vulnerable.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Stay with it. You look very sweet now. See, that's if we block that, we're gonna feel separate from the world. You're actually providing a gift, but you're not letting yourself honor the gift which is already being given. And then you'll feel you never give enough and you'll never win, because what you're already giving is not being recognized in you. So start by recognizing the gifts you are actually giving. And then that will expand to new gifts to be given. But if you don't recognize and honor what you're already giving, then we get blocked. Then we'll never be good enough. And whatever we give will never be good enough. Make sense?
It does.
How do you feel now?
I feel a little bit more directed. I feel that I can hold that that shyness, and that I can hold it with a little bit more ground under my feet.
Yeah.
It feels like a long ladder, but I feel like I have a little grasp of something.
Yeah. So I want to say it again. So your work is contributing beauty and joy to the world. And probably other things as well. Your furniture is being used, right? So what other benefits do the users of your furniture have?
They have a function. They are useful.
Yeah. So they simplify or make their lives more smooth, more functional. So feel that. You make people's lives nicer to live through that furniture. Yeah. And we could go on like that. And I invite you to go on like that yourself for, a few days, weeks. Keep honoring the gift you're giving and notice that that's probably what you want to give to the world. Not only through your furniture, but you probably want to give it to your partner, to your parents, to your friends, to the people on the street, the very same qualities. Isn't it true?
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
I feel calm.
And when you tune into Muizenberg and Cape Town society, how do you feel now? Do you feel separate or connected?
No, a bit more connected.
A bit more connected. Yeah. And in terms of being a contribution in the world, in Cape Town, do you see it differently or the same?
No, a bit differently. It's hard for me to hold that feeling of what I do being beautiful and what I do being valuable. So this exercise allows me to touch that a little bit. I think it's part of what you were saying that got my attention in the beginning about, the heart can go where the head struggles to follow, and that thinking, that old dialogue and that judgment can be a real handbrake. So
Yeah.
What's useful now is just being able to create some gateway, whether or not it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. If you ask how I feel, whether I feel more connected to my community, the answer is yes, I do right now. And what's useful about the exercise is I can see the pathway to that gate a little bit. So it's more accessible.
Yeah. Yeah, I recognize this topic. When I was 25, I was sitting in an outdoor cafe in Brazil in a university, and some kids were climbing over the wall and begging food off our plates every day. And these kids, teenagers, when I saw them begging the food off my plate, I felt so strongly that these kids were me. It's like, and it actually changed my path in life, that those meals. It's like, I can't go on in the same way, pretending that these are different people. We are all in this together. Some people are begging off my plate and I'm them. I need to, rethink my whole life. So I recognize this, it's a big wake-up call. If we take that fully in, it's a big wake-up call, which can put our life on a totally different path. So it really changed my life when I had that first feeling very strongly. Of course, it wasn't the first time I'd seen a beggar, but it was the first time I took it in that these kids were me and I was them, and we were so different situation. And so it's an ongoing journey. There's no final answer to that, But I want to say that in Zen coaching, because of that experience, or that was one catalyst, I started working in international development. So I was working for the United Nations and other organizations around the world for 8 years on global poverty issues and all kinds of stuff. I wanted to be part of a solution globally. But then I made a turn inward, like, well, wait a minute. I think Jesus already said it. What does it help the world if you save everybody, but you lose your own soul? So I realized I have to take care of my own heart and soul. So I did a turn inward for a few years, because we have to heal also. we need to do the inner work also. And then I developed Zen coaching out of that process. And we have 5 guiding principles in Zen coaching. And one of them I call, because I looked when I was working in international development, I saw the kind of help that one country gives to another, like a rich country gives to a poor country, generally works not very well. The whole business of helping doesn't really work properly. So I got really curious, what kind of help actually works? If this doesn't work very well, what kind of help really works? So that's been my question for decades. And out of this question and some other questions, Zen coaching was born, and I have 5 guiding principles. And the first one is helping through non-helping. So that's a bit of a paradox, but like now I'm meeting you, and when I meet you, I'm not holding the intention of helping. I'm holding the intention of meeting.
Yeah, good.
And through that meeting, I think something helpful happened for you. Didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I mean, helping through non-helping. I'm not trying to help anybody, actually. I've let go of the idea of helping. But I'm still very much in the awareness of interconnectedness, compassion. We're all in this together. So to be there, to be curious, to be interconnected, but not with so much with the concept of help. For me, help is something practical. I can help you move some furniture from one room to the other. That kind of help I can do. But when it comes to the soul, I can't really help, but I can meet. I can be here. I can show up, you know. We can show up for each other, but we can't, people have their own destinies, as we talked about. We just show up as ourselves. And yeah, that was a little, I just linked it to my story and Zen coaching a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I used to live in Musenberg a little bit, so I really like it, this place. The beach Good. There and sunrise, and yeah, beautiful place. Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Let's see, we do like this. I invite the rest of you to write a word or a sentence on the chat. How was it for you to witness this exchange? Thank you for sharing, beautiful. I was him, inspiring, thank you, very touching. Opening, life affirming, very inspiring. Inspired, relieved, simple, liberating, beautiful process. Honor my own joy, stressed to relaxed, moved me, common and important, beautiful to see the vulnerability. Incredible how everything is seen in the face, vulnerability, love, compassion. Gave me so many insights, beautiful. So relevant and important, thank you both. Touching and loving, I love the Kåre flow, thank you. Cute. Soften, inspired to honor the gifts we give, helpful, thank you, so touching. Inspiring. Relief, I had a situation with an alcoholic person yesterday and I was not able to process that on my own, so powerful. Thank you, Keith. I felt really touched, very emotional. Your gifts are enough and do bring so much joy, relief, ease, function. Inspiring, thank you. Okay, so Keith, you can see that you actually did benefit to the world now, to many, many people. So that's also interesting to see. Just by showing up and showing ourselves, also we become immediately a benefit to the world, just by being ourselves. So if you have a coaching request, please send a personal message to Hanne, because I can't read it on the chat. It moves too fast. So if you want coaching, please send a request to Hanne directly with a specific issue. Okay. Okay, before I go into the next coaching, I would like to hear if somebody has a question about my role here as the coach, as the listener. If you want to ask me something, you can just unmute yourself and ask a question. If there's something you wonder about how I approach coaching. When I'm a coach, I don't think I'm a coach. I'm only a coach when I'm not coaching. When I'm coaching, I'm just me, engaged. I'm not thinking about what to do when I'm meeting somebody in this way. It's just flowing. But there is a certain principles behind it that I teach in the training, Zen coaching training. So any questions about my role here as the listener in this exchange? If not, we'll just continue.
Kåre?
Yes.
I have a little question. I'm not quite sure if it's what you're asking about, but I sometimes have a client who, so as a coach, when I ask them something, when I ask them if they're experiencing something in the body, they really have no sense of that. They really can't describe a single physical sensation.
Well, then don't ask about sensations.
Okay.
See, the point is to meet people where they are. So if you're thinking and I want you to feel your body, and you're still thinking and I want you to feel your body, then what am I doing?
I'm trying to change it.
I'm trying to change you. So what did I just say? Empathic attunement is to meet people where they are with respect and honoring of that. So if you try to make people feel their bodies, if you're in any kind of trying as a coach, then you're not coach the Zen way. Then you're a fixing coach. And fixing comes with many pitfalls. You know, sometimes we can fix, it's not wrong, but my way of coaching is non-fixing. I don't want to fix anybody. Nothing is wrong. So I just want to meet people where they are. I want to embrace and include.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to invite in more awareness. And awareness will open, for instance, the sensation of the body. So
okay.
if you're in your thinking, I might say to you, okay, so notice that thought.
Okay.
You see? When I say that, I bring in the little magical word called notice. Okay, so notice that thought. My boss is a hopeless loser. Okay, notice that thought. So we introduce noticing. What is noticing? Noticing is awareness. What is awareness? Awareness is consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is space. So there is space. Now the thought doesn't fill my entire space. I have space and in it is a thought. Now, the next thing that happens is I start to feel my body. So it happens by itself. So I meet you where you are. My main job is to introduce awareness into the equation. It's like the awareness is here, but it's overlooked. So I help the other person be aware of their awareness. Not by telling them to do so, but by inviting in this in different ways. So then, and then I maybe ask, so how do you feel in your body now? Well, I think my boss should really, you know, not be a boss. Okay. So notice that thought. And how is your body now? Is it tense? Is it relaxed? So sometimes I give options, like you can choose between 4 words. So then it's like the mind goes to those words. Are you tensed or relaxed? Then I understand the question, you know. Okay, I'm being asked if I'm tense or relaxed. Now I understand the question, you know, because many people don't understand the question, what are you feeling in your body? Because they don't know. There's just something underneath the neck that I'm using to get things done, you know. So they're not used to sensing the body. So those are a couple of tips here.
Yeah, that's very helpful. That's very
helpful.
helpful because I sometimes struggle to get them from just talking. So saying, noticing that thought, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll give you one other golden key if you're interested. Are you interested?
Yes, I am.
The art of interruption. Don't be afraid to interrupt your client, but interrupt with a question or interrupt with a mirroring.
Okay.
So the client goes on blah 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 blah, and then I interrupt in the middle and I say, it sounds like it's really important for you to have respect and interest shown in you. And that can, like, you catch the essence or a word that in all the talk there was a word where you felt some emotion or energy, and you interrupt and you highlight that. Oh, because people who talk a lot without stopping and they stay in the thought are often people who haven't been heard much in life. They don't trust anybody is actually hearing them. So by interrupting and focusing on the key essence of what's being said, they're surprised. Oh, this person is actually listening to me. Maybe I don't need to speak so fast or so many words. I'm actually being heard here. Yeah, so that's another key. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Okay. Let's do another coaching. I would prefer somebody new to Zen coaching, but we can also do somebody who is not new. Okay, Ella, you have a request for coaching here about relationships. Now, where are you? Are you there still, or did you disappear?
So, there. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hello, Ella.
Hello. Yes, I realized it now when you talked about blockage, that I actually block people and experience away, I think, because I'm afraid of, I don't know if I'm afraid of disappointing others or myself. But I realized that I do things and I've been doing them for years and I don't get better. and my relationships doesn't get better. Yeah, I'm losing something.
It's a little bit unclear to me. Can you give an example?
For example, I'm an instructor, and I'm doing that for 15 years.
What kind of instructing?
Group training.
Physical training.
Yeah. And I feel that I have a lot of energy in the beginning, but then it's like I see my colleagues getting better, and I'm in the same place. Like I'm not giving myself in a way.
Your skills as an instructor is staying at the same level.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Is that the fact or an idea you have?
I don't know.
Well, look at it. Is it really true or is it just an idea? Sometimes it's just our superego that thinks we should be progressing more.
Yeah, but it feels like I lose my energy. I lose my enthusiasm, and like in the beginning, I'm really into it, and I'm giving something, and then I lose it after years. So it feels like I like it, and I love doing it, but I'm losing something, and I don't know what it is.
How long have you been a physical trainer?
For like 15 years. And it feels like I'm always okay. But it feels like it's something that's missing that I see in my colleagues. Like they really give their everything in every class. And so it feels like I start to just,
So they're more passionate about it than you.
Yeah.
So the obvious question is, maybe you want to do something different now. I mean, 15 years is a long time.
Yeah, but I feel this in everything that I do. Also in my relationships. That I don't know what it is. It just struck me that I'm afraid of. I know it's easier in the beginning, and when people rely on me, then I lose my connection. I get afraid, and I need so much encouragement to feel that it's still okay in a way. And yeah, I can't really explain it. It's just a very strong feeling that I lose something. I'm afraid of something that makes me to withdraw when I do it for a longer time.
So that happens in your work as a personal trainer, and it happens in your relationship. Now you disappeared your sound. Let's see. I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
You don't need to hold this. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it happens, you say it happens in your work and it happens in relationships. Does it happen in other areas? Or is it those two areas, first of all?
Whenever I need to prove myself, or like I get some sort of I've been thinking that I'm not that I don't like competition, that I don't want to. I'm
asking about specific situations in life where this happens. So relationship, work, what other areas?
Yeah, wherever I get like challenged in a way, like to
Examples.
it can be I'm also doing massage, and I help a lot of people. But when I get a regular client that starts to rely on me, then I get.
Okay, so every time somebody starts to rely on you, you get scared.
Yeah.
Okay, so feel that for a moment. What are you afraid of?
That my contribution isn't enough. That they will get disappointed.
Okay.
So it's easier when they don't know anything, and I just.
Okay, so it's when they start to have expectations.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to deal with expectations. Yeah.
And then I just withdraw.
Yeah, because
you lose myself.
You don't like the energy of expectations. Yeah, expectations are challenging, is a challenging thing to deal with, actually.
And it's a big sadness because it feels like I'm not there when someone actually needs me.
Yeah, so you have a longing to contribute, right? Yeah, so feel that you have a longing to contribute. You want to be a contribution. So we see that's the same topic we had in the last coaching.
Yeah.
To be in contribution is such a joy. And it's such a pain when we feel that we can't be in our contribution. Is that the tears? What's the sadness?
I don't really know. I'm just scared of something.
Are you scared or sad?
Both.
So feel the fear for a moment. What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of losing something, the connection or the feeling of actually contributing.
Because you're afraid of losing the connection and ability to contribute. Yeah.
And it makes me block everything that's good. Because I get scared.
Well, the fear can block us.
Yeah.
But we can also include the fear. Then it doesn't block us. So if we make fear the enemy, then we become afraid of fear itself. Then it blocks us. But if you embrace the fear, you welcome the fear. Don't make fear your enemy. So, or you get afraid when you feel expectation, or when you feel that people rely on you. You don't want to disappoint people. Yeah? So that's another thing to think about. Like a principle of life. Disappointment and to disappoint people is a part of life. To make friends with disappointment. We will be disappointed and we will disappoint. That's like a rule of life. If we fight with that, we will suffer.
Yeah.
So if we refuse to disappoint and refuse to be disappointed, we get blocked. But if we say disappointment is part of life, to disappoint and be disappointed is part of life, I have to get used to it. I have to practice to say yes to it. Sometimes I disappoint people. Sometimes I'm disappointed. And it's impossible to avoid it. What's happening now?
It just sounds true, and I've been avoiding a lot.
Yes. See, when I said that, you started to relax more. So it feels true, and then you relax. When we see the truth, we relax. You want to try something?
Yes.
So look at me and say...
I actually can't see you. How do I do that?
Okay, that's true. I have to do something. Now, let's see.
Yeah.
Do you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's a speaker view. Good. So let's see. You still see me? Or did it change?
No, I see.
I see a different screen, that's why. Okay, so look at me and say to me, sometimes I disappoint people.
Sometimes I disappoint people.
And sometimes I'm disappointed by people.
And sometimes I'm disappointed in people.
And both are okay.
And both are okay.
It's part of life.
It's part of life.
And sometimes I'm a contribution.
And sometimes I'm a contribution.
And I enjoy that.
And I enjoy that.
See if you can say that without crying. It's true. For sure, if you weren't a contribution, people wouldn't come back for more massage or more training. So it's obviously the truth. Sometimes I'm a contribution and I enjoy that.
Sometimes I'm a contribution, and I enjoy that.
Okay, how did that feel?
Nice.
Yeah. And try again. Sometimes I disappoint people.
Sometimes I disappoint people.
Or sometimes people get disappointed is a more true statement. Sometimes people get disappointed.
Sometimes people get disappointed.
Because it's not exactly true that I disappoint somebody else. It's they get disappointed because of their own expectations. That's the truth. So you actually cannot disappoint anybody, but they can get disappointed. So try saying it again. Sometimes people get disappointed, and that's okay.
Sometimes people get disappointed, and that's okay.
I'm not perfect,
I'm not perfect,
like everybody else.
like everybody else.
You know, that's a wonderful thing about being a coach and a workshop leader too. I've been that for 20 years. And God, I have had to learn this lesson so many times, especially the first years. That was the biggest thing to learn. It takes a while. I had the same. We all have it. It's terrible. Imagine you have 25 people in a room and they're all disappointed in you. I've had that experience. I had 25 people after 1.5 hours saying, can we just end this? It's not working. Why are we here anyway? And I was dying inside. I disappointed everybody. It was my biggest nightmare. And that's why life gave me this lesson. Without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. I have to face this place. The terror of disappointing people. If we're going to work with people,
Yeah.
we have to meet that place.
Yeah, that's my problem.
It's not a problem.
I love to work with people, but I'm scared.
And
and I'm scared.
And me too. It's part of it. This is the school. I've been scared 1,000,000 times, maybe not 1,000,000, but thousands of times teaching and coaching. But I do it anyway because I like it.
Yeah.
How do you feel now in your body?
I'm more relaxed.
Yeah, feel that relaxation for a moment.
Yeah, it feels less serious.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so serious anymore.
And I feel happier.
Yeah. Yeah, now think about your work as a personal trainer from this place. Just look at it. When you look at this work now, how do you feel?
I'm more connected to joy.
More connected to joy, yeah. And when you look at your work with massage, how do you feel?
Yeah, I get in contact with that feeling of giving.
Yeah. And when you think of being in relationship from this place?
Yeah, it feels softer.
Yeah. Yeah, because the suffering and trouble we get into is because we believe in certain ideas which are not true. Like this idea that I shouldn't disappoint anybody, especially not people close to me or people who rely on me in some way. This is not a true idea. But when I believe in this idea, then I'm fighting with reality and then I suffer. But when I accept reality as it is, I'm not perfect, nobody is perfect. Sometimes people get disappointed, sometimes people are happy. That's being more normal.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm sick and tired of my work. I want to do something else with my life. And then the next week, suddenly I'm inspired again. Or next year. Or not. And then I quit and find another job. So if we take this to our topic, facing insecurity and the unknown, fear is a part of life. Not knowing what's going to happen is a part of life. Can you ever do anything but your best?
No.
We can only do our best moment to moment. The rest is unknown.
I'm just afraid to shut off in a way. When I get afraid, I just block everything.
So try saying this. Sometimes I get blocked.
Sometimes I get blocked.
And that's quite normal.
And that's quite normal.
That's also part of the school of life. Working with people, you know, if you work with a computer programming, it's easier. Working with people, we also have to face this getting blocked sometimes. So we could continue and explore more, but I think maybe for now, it's okay. What do you say?
Yeah. I feel much calmer.
Yeah.
And I just realized how big the issue was.
Yes. It is a big issue. Okay, thank you for sharing. Good luck. Do you want to hear how it was for the others to witness?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have some on the chat. From Emil, touching. Monica, familiar. Oi, it's going fast. Expansion into truth. Fresh, I feel you. So much recognition. So honest, heartfelt, aligned. Connecting and helpful. Touching and healing. Great lesson of disappointment and being disappointed. I have to remember it. So familiar. Touching and helpful. So relevant. I also find myself frightened by expectations. It's like success makes me feel pressured. Thank you. It was very touching and healing. Thank you for opening up. Very courageous, very familiar to me. Thank you. So touching, beautiful, insightful lessons. Thank you for sharing. I feel touched and healing in myself. To embrace fear, very useful. It was so deeply moving, made me cry. Thank you for sharing this with us. Encouraging. Thank you for sharing. So Ella, you're being a contribution. That's your longing. There's a lot of contribution here. Useful and encouraging. Imperfection is perfection. So we're going to have a short break soon. But before that, let's see if there's any question.
May I have a question?
Yes. Hello, Margosha.
Hello, Kåre. Nice to see you again. We are longing for you in Poland.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there now.
Yeah.
Corona had a different plan for me.
Different plan, yes.
Yes.
Ella was crying.
Yes.
From the very beginning.
Yes.
But you seemed not to notice it.
I didn't
Was
give it
that-
so much attention. That's true.
Yeah, you didn't give it
Of course,
almost
I
any attention.
of course I noticed
Yeah, you seemed. That's why I thought you seemed not to notice it.
it. Yes.
And was it by purpose? And yeah, if I guess yes. So why was this your reaction, if I might ask?
Well, it's again based on empathic attunement. So empathy means, or empathic attunement means to connect with the essential thing happening in the other person. And I didn't feel the tears were the most essential thing happening. So the tears were there, so I recognized the tears, but they weren't the essence of what was going on. So I wanted to get some more facts. What is the actual problem? And to understand the issues. And actually, she said, I feel fear. So notice that Ella said, while she was crying, she said, I feel fear. That's quite interesting, because tears are not fear. So often tears can cover up some other feelings that are actually going on. So often so crying can be a vulnerability that is the core feeling, or sometimes it covers up what is the core feeling. There is something else actually. So in this situation, I did honor the sadness also, but later. And I was more interested in understanding what is really the problem here, not necessarily go to the feeling. Feelings are not always the most important thing going on. There can be some thoughts, there can be some needs, there can be some interpretations. So here it depends on the intuition of the listener, what to give attention and how. So I follow my intuition, what feels most relevant or important. It's the same with fear. Sometimes people say they're afraid, but I don't feel that's the most important thing going on. Then I don't. It's like we can't take neither the outer expression nor the words at face value. We have to feel like what resonates in me. When you connect with somebody, you start to resonate. And I'm trying to find this point of contact with what's the true resonance in the moment. But all this is happening spontaneously. It's not that I'm deciding something. It's just flowing. Yes, thank you. Any other questions? You can just unmute yourself if you have a question.
Kåre, maybe I would have a question if...
Yes, Kinga, I hear you.
Yes. So it is about being with yourself as a coach during the session. You already speak about intuition and paying attention to maybe more your heart and this sensation you might have about the other person.
What's your question, Kinga?
But my question is more like, because sometimes I feel like saying it to the coachee. Now when you express this, I say, I feel this or that. Yes, I just share it. And very often it does give some kind of, yes, it works for the person, yes.
So what's the question, Kinga?
Is it okay that I share my how I feel.
Well,
Sometimes it's, well, once it was really like shocking. So are you a coach? Are you with yourself or are you with me?
yes. So as you know, since you know me already, when I get these kinds of questions, is it okay to do like this or is it okay to do like that? What do I normally answer?
Yeah, I know.
What do I normally answer?
If it works for you.
Exactly. If it works, it's right. If it doesn't work, it's wrong. So what I'm hearing is most of the time it works.
Yes.
When you do it.
Yeah.
But one time it didn't work. Or maybe it worked, but it was a bit shocking for the other person.
Yes, maybe something then broke and changed, and
yes.
There were many feelings around that.
So if it works, it's right. So it's right, since it worked. Now, it's again, if we're not, it's more about, not so much about what we do, but where we come from when we do it. What is my intention of whatever I do? So do I do it to fix the other person, or do I do it as a spontaneous thing because I feel it might be a contribution in this moment? So basically, as a coach, I say, I'm not trying to help, but I am intending to be a contribution. So there's a difference between being a contribution and helping. So it's like implicit, how can I be of service? So my intention is somehow to be of service to the other person. I'm at your service. So whatever I do, it comes from the intention of being of service. If I hold that intention strongly and deeply, here, my role in this setting, my role is to be of service. Then, if I do something and it doesn't work, my client gets disappointed, then I'm okay, because it's always insecure and unknown what the impact of my intervention will be. So actually, to be a coach, I have to embrace insecurity and the unknown in every single moment. I have to rest. I have to rest in not knowing. And I have to have the courage to do stuff without having any idea if it's going to work or not. It's not like a car. A human being isn't like a car where you push a thing and it's predictable what's going to happen. People are unpredictable. So what worked with another person maybe doesn't work with you. So I have to have the courage to not only be in the unknown, but to act in the unknown. Being willing to disappoint the other person every moment. Like, I have an impulse to share what's happening in me now. But maybe that's going to be the wrong thing to do. But that's my impulse, so I follow my impulse because it comes from this intention of being in service. But still, I don't know if it's going to work. Now, if my client gets upset with me, then simply I say, I'm sorry. Let's try something different. It's not so serious, actually. It's okay to disappoint people, or it's okay that people get disappointed. It's okay as a coach to say, I'm sorry, let's try something else. So coaching is such a beautiful mirror of life. Yeah. But we need to be clear about our intention. Is my intention to fix? Then generally I tend to get into trouble. But if my intention is to just show up and be in the adventure of the unfoldment and to be of somehow to be of service. And what am I in service of? In Zen coaching, I'm in service of being. I'm in service of soul. I'm in service of heart. I'm not in service of the agenda of the mind of the client. That's why I can also challenge the client. because I'm not in service of people's conditioned beliefs. I'm in service of their true person.
This is it. Yes.
That's it. So I
Yes.
might upset their mind, and I might actually be happy I upset their mind.
Yes. Yes.
If their mind is upset, that's could be a good opportunity.
Mm.
So also, what is upset? What is disappointed? Is the heart disappointed? Is the mind disappointed? Yeah, that's a short answer.
Yes. Thank you. In love and service.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
adventure, playfulness. It's fun.
Always.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, friends, let's take a 5, 6, 7-minute break. We'll be back at 10 to 11. No, wait, that's 6 minutes only. Let's be back at 5 to 11. We have 35 minutes. So we take a 10-minute break. Okay? Welcome back. Can you hear me? Maybe? Yes, yes, yes. Good. Okay. We have a half an hour more. If you would like some dialogue with me about a specific problem, preferably, then please send a message to Hanne, who is our co-host here. In the meantime, I'll say, okay, I'll press the record. Oh, I am recording. Good. So in the meantime, I want to say something else about the basic principles of Zen coaching. So I said helping through non-helping. We help the most when we're not trying to help. Different intention works better, like connecting, intention of connecting, intention of understanding, intention of adventure, intention of facing the moment. Another principle is supporting people in coming home to themselves. So our problems arise as a result of being disconnected from ourselves. This is a basic principle. So we tend to try to solve our problems by changing the external situations of life. And generally it doesn't work very well because the root cause of our problems is always a disconnection from our own being. And the external problem is more like a mirror of an internal disconnection. So that's the principle Zen coaching is based on. So the magic is that whatever the external situation, when we come home to ourselves, the problem changes from a problem to a situation, and even a possibility and opportunity. So we're not so concerned about changing the external situation. We're more concerned about coming home to ourselves. Then we can change something. But if we do it the other way, which is what we mostly do in life, it doesn't give any deep solutions. This is individually and collectively. So one of the 5 main principles is supporting people in coming home to themselves. Because the root cause of all problems in life, all big problems, root cause of suffering, is a disconnection from ourselves. And ourselves is our being, our essence, our presence, our heart. our source, our core, our center. You can give it many names. So this is what we do. We help meet the moment. We meet the moment. We find the yes to the moment. And this yes takes us home. The yes to the experience and feeling we have in the moment takes us home to ourselves. And the no takes us away. Identification with a rejection of the present moment disconnects us from ourselves. So this is such a simple principle, but yet the whole world is caught in rejecting the present moment. That's the root cause of suffering on the whole planet. Finding the yes, coming home. Then we can be creative with our problems, and compassion can grow, inclusion can grow, understanding can grow, empathy can grow, wise action can grow, co-creation can grow, love can grow, freedom can grow, everything can grow. Now, if you want to avoid my rambling for another half hour, then you need to ask for coaching. Because I can talk for hours. I love to talk about these things. But I'm actually here to coach now, was the idea. Give me your problems and let's explore the adventure of the unknown. And write to Hanna if you have something you would like to look at. Specific problem, specific challenge. So I had one from Marta. I don't know who Marta. Wanted to explore fear and resistance to magic, to devote myself to the present moment. Marta, can you unmute yourself? Do you want to explore this topic?
Oh my God, you surprised me.
Hello.
Hello.
So, you say your challenge is fear and resistance to devote yourself to the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, the present moment is right here.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it about this moment?
My heart is beating so fast.
Okay. What else? Heart is beating fast.
Mm. And again, I feel the fear in my stomach. I always feel this feeling when I meditate or trying to be in the present moment.
Well,
Or I don't know, maybe trying to go deeper or something.
so Marta,
Imagine that there is something deeper, yeah?
I hear the word trying.
Mm-hmm.
You just notice you have this trying to go deeper, trying to be in the present moment, trying. Just notice this trying. How is it to be aware that you have this trying energy?
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. So feel the exhaustion, the tiredness. It's so exhausting to be trying.
Yeah, and always looking for more. It's like one.
Looking for more. Yes, more. Different, more.
Never enough. It's like, it's not enough.
Not enough. Yes, has to be more. It's not enough. Something different, better, deeper, more spectacular.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now?
My voice shaking.
Voice shaking?
It's here. I have some, I don't know, some blockage here, like
Do you
huge
have
stone.
Do you have a headset? It's hard to hear
Yes,
you.
it's not. It's maybe
Okay.
now it's better. Yeah. So it's yeah. It's here.
Some pressure there?
Yeah, like a huge stone. I said, yeah.
A huge stone, you said. Okay. So feel that huge stone in the chest. Now, how about if you don't make that something wrong, but something interesting?
I feel the resistance.
Yeah, so notice the resistance. How about be curious about the resistance? So if you
I
don't,
don't know. I don't want.
you don't want what?
Like I don't want to feel this resistance. I just feel all the tension
Okay.
in my body. It's like
Okay.
everything is squeezed and ready to fight.
Okay, so there's a tension in the whole body, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't want to have this tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a no to this tension, right? So can you say yes to this no?
Yes.
Yes, feel that. That's where the yes was hiding. See, we found the yes.
Yeah, now I feel more relaxed.
Immediately you feel more relaxed and you have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
So feel that. We found the yes, see? Your internet connection is very poor.
Yeah.
So, but I can hear you, so it's okay.
Okay.
So how is your body in this moment?
Now I come back to this stone in my chest. I feel it again.
So just notice that sense of stone in the chest for a moment. How big is it?
Now I have it's I'm really tired of oh yes, of looking at like new teachers, new ways of, you know, exploring, being like all the time. I finish one course, one training, so let's get to another. Like Kåre is not enough already, so let's find something else.
Yes.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah. I have this lately a huge time for me myself to, you know, to explore, to train yoga, to meditate in Zen, in Zazen, to, I don't know, listen to my teachers from Zen, master teacher. I have plenty of times to do this, but still it's oh my god, my sugar. Szymon, zabierz koniecznie dzieci, ja potrzebuję teraz ciszy. Sorry for that.
Well, Marta,
so I'm really yeah. I'm really exhausted, but I don't want this. I just want, I would like to sit, it's okay, it's enough. I'm already here. It's like, I really don't want anything more. Not
Okay.
speaking, not asking, not looking. I'm exhausted. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You want this moment to be enough. As it is.
Yeah.
So say that. I want this moment to be enough as it is.
I want this moment to be enough. Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And here we are, you and I, sitting in this moment. That's it. Here we are. And we don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know, and you don't know. It's completely unknown. Feel the unknown of that for a moment. We're completely here, right now, this moment. And we don't know, any of us, neither you nor I, what's going to happen in the next moment. And we don't need to know. It's enough to see what happens. Maybe this will happen, maybe that will happen, who knows?
Oh, I'm so touched right now.
Yeah,
I
so
have tears
touched.
in my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. So touched by simply resting in the mystery of the moment, the mystery of not knowing what's going to happen. And yet here we are.
Yeah. It's a relief, freedom actually. It's
That's
huge freedom.
where freedom is. To rest in the unknown, not try to get somewhere specific. Let life unfold. And part of the unfoldment is your own action. Choosing this, choosing that, that's part of the unfoldment. Going to Kåre's workshop, going to Zen meditation, going here, going there, that can continue. I feel like a cup of tea, I go have a cup of tea. I feel like playing with my kid, I play with my kid. I feel like not playing with my kid anymore, I say, I don't want to play, I go read a book. Life unfolds. Our action is part of it. So it's not about sitting and waiting for life to happen, because life happens also as our own choice, our own action. But we don't have to follow a script to a destination decided by our mind. Are you with me? Does it make sense? What's happening now? Are you there?
Yeah, something is going on inside my body, and I don't know what.
Okay. So feel that.
It's like what you were saying is truth, but there is like someone saying, but maybe not all of these things are true.
Don't put your butt in my face, please. How do you feel now?
Yeah, now I come back to thinking, is it truth? Is it really like I can live this way?
Well, let's come back to
doing whatever yeah.
Let's come back to the truth of the moment again. So you're sitting there in that chair, and I'm sitting here in my chair. You're sitting in Poland, I think, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm sitting in Sweden. And here we are in the moment, exploring the moment together, actually. For me, that's an adventure. I enjoy it. I enjoy this adventure of exploring the moment with you.
Mhm.
I don't know what's going to
So
happen.
I
don't
feel
know.
fear.
You feel what?
Fear in my stomach.
Okay, you feel fear. Can you say yes to that?
Yes.
Yes. So just allow that to be here also. Here we are.
Now, Kåre, again, I'm exhausted. I'm like,
So don't make that wrong.
so yes, say yes to that moment, allow it, and so on. It's like 1,000 a day I can do this, and again,
No,
I'm exhausted.
wait. There's nothing to do. It's happening already. Don't do anything. You're just sitting here in the unknown of the moment. There's nothing to do. You're already here. How can you try to be here? You are already here. There's nothing to do. It's just a stopping for a moment. Just, you know what I call it? I call it a micro holiday. Just stop for a moment and do nothing for 10 seconds. I give myself a holiday from all doing, all trying. Just, I go into noticing space, just being aware of what's going on. Okay? And in that awareness, I'm also aware that I don't know what's going to happen next. That's truth. I don't know. How can I know? How could I possibly know what's going to happen next? That's the truth. It's just a fact of life. It's not an opinion I have. What's happening now?
Now I have mixed feelings.
Mixed feelings?
Here is like more opening space.
Yeah.
Is that especially when you said about these holidays?
Yes.
Actually, I realized that yes, sometimes I'm doing this, like,
yeah.
And I love this. I love this idea, and then this space is, you know, going further.
Yeah.
And yeah, but then when you said unknown, that you don't know what's happened next,
yes.
I feel this fear in my stomach again. So like two parts are here.
Yes. So if you don't say but, you say instead and there is a fear of the and there is a fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah, there are both.
Yeah. So you have some fear of the unknown, some fear of not knowing. This is normal. Most people have this fear. That's normal. So just recognize this fear of the unknown, of not knowing. The whole world now has been given a task by the coronavirus. Okay, guys, now, folks, now it's the time to embrace not knowing, because you're not gonna know now. Nobody knows. The whole world is having to face not knowing now. It's a collective task. What happens when I say that?
A really peaceful feeling.
Say it again?
Peaceful
peaceful
feeling.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's your task to explore explore ways of getting familiar with not knowing and the unknown, this feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I think we need to end because we're coming to an ending. Thank you so much.
Kåre. Thank you.
Have fun with your micro holidays. Okay, let's see now. We do like this. Can we have a short feedback on the chat? How was it to witness this session? Thank you. Super wonderful, true, helpful, micro holiday. Thank you. Love this. Sincere. Remembering common humanity is a relief. Relief in the collective task. Reminding of being in the present. Important. Thank you. Encouraging. Good reminding. Part of unfoldment are our actions. It was good to hear that there can be peace, joy, and fear. They're not mutually exclusive. Inspiring. So honest, lovely display of interrupting skills. Love your personal input, Maren. The beauty of presence, thank you. Inspiring, very helpful, thank you. Exciting and honest. Curious about deep feeling for the unknown. It's time to embrace not knowing. A micro holiday too, nothing to do, nowhere to go. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. Joy, exciting, and peaceful. So, Marta, you're being a benefit to people. As I say, when we go deep in our own journey, honestly, authentically, we become a gift. It's so beautiful to see. Yes. Good to recognize. When we step forward, we become a gift. Don't hesitate. Not knowing for president. Hi, Chris. Kristen. Not knowing for president. I like that one. Encouraged by the collective nature of the unknown. Thanks. Thanks, Marta. It was great to share your journey. Lisa. Cape Town, Lisa, I guess. Reda, also Cape Town. Some things have come up for me, embracing these messages from deep inside. Okay. So, facing insecurity and the unknown. Not knowing is our friend, not our enemy. Dooby 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 doo, baloo. To embrace emptiness, which is not knowing, we can enter fullness in a creative way. By embracing emptiness, not knowing, we can engage creatively with the present moment from a deeper place, more intuition, more attuned, more spontaneous, more in touch with the heart. So not knowing is a doorway to being, spontaneous action from the heart. That's the way I see it. And the moment, to be in the moment is not something we do. To be in the moment is something we are. We are the moment. So it's more like a recognition. Don't try to be present. Just stop the doing. Give yourself a micro holiday. Stop doing. Recognize. Deep feelings opening your own heart. Undina. Hello, Undina. Good to see you, and thanks for the offering at this time. This is a homecoming time for Zen coaching. Yes, it is. It's beautiful to have these meetings. Emil, coaching is a mirror to life, and as coaches, we are in the unknown and we act in the unknown. We trust in our intention to be of service to being. You know, every webinar since this C19 thing has been a game changer for me. Thank you, Kåre. Thank you all. That's happy feedback. So, any questions about my role in this exchange or the role of the coach. Anybody would like to ask anything? Or maybe it's clear enough. There's a question, is there also Zen coaching in Holland? I have had a few people do the training from Holland. I don't have the training in Holland, so you need to come to Sweden or Poland to do the training. We have the Zen coaching training in Sweden, in Poland, and in South Africa. And the groups are international and all of them are in English. Now, some people might be offering Zen coaching shorter workshops in Holland. If not now, then soon. I now also want to tell you that I have been working for 4 months on an online program. It's a 40-day training that you can do at home. If you invest maybe 90 minutes a day for 40 days, you will get a full package of teachings and guided meditations, guided journeys, and a lot of exercises linked together so you can get all the basic teachings or some of the main basic teachings of Zen coaching available in your own home at your own speed. So this online program, which is also, I use money as a topic for illustration because it's one of these big life issues for us, how to deal with money. So the course is called From Lack to Abundance, or the main to abundance. So this course will be launched probably in 2.5 hours. But if you do a journey of 40 days, then it's a different story. Yes. Now, okay, I fell out for a moment. Can you hear me now? Okay, I don't know what you lost, but you hear me now. Okay, good. I was just encouraging everybody to check out my online course when it's posted next week. Yeah, I'll send you more information about it. So I will do this webinar again, probably next Tuesday morning. I think once a week on Tuesday mornings is good. I like this time of the week. How has it been for you to take part in this journey? Do you want to give a little feedback on the chat? Okay, thanks for this great initiative. Many thanks. Beautiful contribution, highly appreciated, connecting, inspiring, heartwarming. I don't know, Kristen. Are you sure you don't know? Learning, interested, inspiring. Thank you. Really wonderful, affirming, energizing. Thank you, Kåre, for the gift of was going too fast. Very inspiring. Wouldn't mind these webinars for the world. Staying tuned. Thank you. So much love. The best kind of connection. Thank you. Very inspiring. It is so unfolding to observe you in action and embracing the dynamics of the sessions. Game changers for me to gain courage to give sessions to others. Biggest thank you. Wonderful. Really wonderful, Roy. Hi, Roy. Hope you're well. Affirming, energizing, getting in touch with essence and learning a lot. Blessed. Thank you. Relaxing. Thank you so much for being with me while exploring myself. Thank you, Kåre, for this gift. A great gift, thanks. Feeling so connected during lockdown. Grateful for Sangha and Satsang. Hello, Reda. Hope you're well too. See you next Tuesday. My first meeting with Zen coaching, right to the spot. Thank you, great resonance. Nice, Ivar. Sounds Norwegian. Happy to connect and reminding, thank you. Mikko, positively surprised. This was helpful, thanks, Kåre. Quite new to share to Zoom. Second best option after real one meetings. Okay. Mammoth, thanks, Kåre. Is there any chance to have webinars outside of Ängsbacka working hours? That's a good question. Maybe I'll do some evening event also. I feel most fresh in the morning. So I might disappoint you if I do it in the evening. I don't want to disappoint anybody. I'm blown away by inspiration. Mitra, love the flow. Thank you so much, Kåre. Thank you for coming. Some interesting insights. Thank you. Okay. All right. So take a breath and let go. Notice the body. Give yourself a 10-second micro holiday before we end. A few breaths. Nothing to do right now. Taking a break from all doing. And immediately I am here in the present moment. As the present moment, in the unknown and mystery of life itself. I am the mystery of life itself. I am the mystery. We are the mystery. Everything is a mystery. And it's quite an adventure, the adventure of now. Have a beautiful now throughout this day and be well.
Thank you.
Hey.
Bye, everybody. Bye.